I am Kristen Berry, and I'm here with a good friend, Julia, and we're going to talk a little bit about the LifeWave patches.
Whoops.
Our foundation patch is the X39. This is a non-transdermal phototherapy patch. You can see the patch right here that I'm wearing. It's non-transdermal, meaning that nothing goes into the body. There's no drugs or anything entering the body. It uses phototherapy, which is a technique that's been around for thousands of years. If you want to learn more about the LifeWave products, you can visit Healthy Kristen. It's Kristen, healthykristen.com. Before we begin, I want you to hear from Julia because she's got an amazing story. But I just want to clarify that the LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical disease or condition. So that being said, let's go to Julia and find out. I want you to hear her incredible story of what she was dealing with when she started patching and what she has experienced since then. So what do you think, Julia? Tell us a little bit about what you were dealing with.
Hi. Okay. So my name is Julia. I actually came down with COVID on January 11th of 2021, and I never got better. So they ended up calling it long COVID. Actually, I think COVID people that had it ended up coining that term. But it took a very long time for me to get to where I am today. In the beginning, it was terrible. I had terrible headaches. I described them as brain-eating headaches, horrible fatigue. I had gastritis, which I didn't know until they diagnosed me, but there was, and I still sometimes have this problem with nausea and vomiting after I eat. And then I have brain fog. I get weird fevers, usually after I eat. Um, I have, oh, I forget it. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff. Is there anything else I told you that I'm forgetting? Because there was a lot to go through. It took me several months. Cleveland Clinic actually started up a long COVID recovery clinic. And I was able to get into that in September of 2021. It was brand new. I was probably one of the first people going, and I went through a bunch of different tests. The cardiologist ended up starting me on a medication for rapid heart rate because my heart rate just does not go down to a normal level. It's always in the 120s if I'm not on medication. And sometimes it'll creep up a little and then it'll come down again, but the medication does help a lot. But it would go up just from me standing up. It would raise, and then sometimes I would almost pass out. They also in neurology started me on a headache medicine. They started with medication that they use for people that have chronic headaches, migraine headaches, and none of those worked. So they ended up having to put me on a medication that is for nerve pain. And I do still take that. I also, the fatigue that I had was not just tiredness, it was fatigue. And by fatigue, I meant I felt sick, like the flu, just from walking across the room. I would do a load of laundry, and the next day I would take it out of the dryer. The next day I would fold it. And then the next day I would put it away. I just could not do everything at once. It made me sick. I had to stop working as a dental hygienist. I didn't have the energy to do that anymore. I did work for my husband a couple hours a day, 2 days a week, just to get myself out of the house. But even that, after that, I was done for the day. I couldn't do anything. I was on the couch. Um, so what they did at the Cleveland Clinic Neurology is they set me up on a schedule to try to get some of that energy back. So for 5 minutes a day, 3 days a week, for 3 weeks, I would walk on the treadmill. And if I could handle it after 3 weeks, I would increase it to 4 times a week. After that, I would add 5 minutes, go 3 more weeks, so 10 minutes for 3 weeks, and then 15 minutes for 3 weeks, and then 20 minutes for 3 weeks until I got up to 30 minutes. And I did it. It took me a very long time, but I did it. And that got me to where I was staying. So I had the ability to do more, but I still didn't have the stamina to do a lot. So I could do my laundry and do it all in one day, and then that would be it. Or I couldn't make dinner. I was too tired after the day. Even if I did nothing all day, I couldn't make dinner. I still couldn't do a lot, but I did the best I could. Um, so after that, I also went to a chiropractor who then sent me to a kinesiologist who put me on a regimen of different supplements. I was on Miranda Supreme, Takasumi Supreme, Camu Supreme, ANF Beta Food, Tulsi Supreme, and Japanese Knotweed Supreme. I tried that for a year. None of it made any difference, so I stopped that. I tried acupuncture I did 6 months of a regimen that the person prescribed for me. And she mostly was trying to deal with the fatigue because that was my biggest problem and the gastritis. Um, but it didn't really help too much. So I kind of just figured, okay, this is where I'm going to be. I got to accept this is my new life. My doctors say that they really probably won't know how to deal with COVID for probably another 10 years with all the doctors, and gathering information and everything. So right now it's still trial and error with everything. So, oh, another thing I had was hair loss, and that was terrible. Um, that was the second time I got COVID. I got hair loss and I had all these growths that they thought were cancerous on my skin that ended up being benign. So that was good. But those all started with my second COVID. So anyway, um, in June of this 2024, so
So
about,
let me stop you just for a second. So just time frame, let me get this in my head. So it was January of 2021 where all of this started.
yes,
The Cleveland Clinic was toward the end of 2021,
yes,
and it took you several months of these 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, just to get you to the point where you could do one task, like a full load of laundry in a day, but still the fatigue was so bad. And then you
yes,
went to all these other doctors, the kinesthesiologist, the
yeah,
acupuncturist, and different people. And so now you are up to 2024, middle of 2024. So we're talking 3.5
years,
years.
yes, years
And
of
this
fun.
is still where you're at. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
So this was still where I was at. Still having the headaches, still, but I'm the type of person I want to love life and I'm going to do my best. And so I just did my best. I was watching your stuff on Facebook because you are a friend of mine from high school. And I thought, well, it's not going to hurt me, and I'll give it a try because I'm willing to try to feel better. So I started the X39 patch in June of 2024. At first, I wasn't wearing it correctly. I found out. I thought that, oh, if I just keep it on all the time, it'll be better. And so I was wearing it 24 hours, and then I was told that's not how you're supposed to do it. So I think for a couple of weeks I did it wrong. But then after that, I started wearing it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Um, and I cannot believe the difference in my fatigue. And like I said before, or maybe I haven't said it yet, but there's such a huge difference between fatigue and being tired.
Mhm.
And I never knew that until it happened to me. And I still get tired. And, I'm not going to say I don't, but I am not fatigued. I have not felt sick. I have two grandchildren now, and at first I cried because I thought I'm going to be such a terrible grandma because I won't be able to play. It broke my heart because I thought I don't have the stamina to do things. Since I've started this, I hike, I make dinner, I go out to dinner, I go to church, I work out, I do a 30-minute workout 3 to 4 times a week. Just so much it has given me, if I could say of anything that's helped me, this has helped me the most, I feel, because of the fatigue. Fatigue is horrible. And you just don't realize how bad it is until you have it. And then when you get some energy back, it's like Christmas.
I
It's,
remember how excited you were to tell me that you could
yeah,
that you made dinner one night, and you're like,
yeah,
you don't understand how big of a feat that is for me to be able to make
Yes.
dinner. I haven't been able to do that for years. And then I remember you telling me that you actually golfed and hiked in the same day,
The
and you
same
hadn't been able
day.
to do either for years.
Yes, I hadn't even golfed in all those years because I couldn't. I had gone with my husband a couple times and I'd hit the ball once or twice and then that would be it. I'd have to sit in the cart. And so it really has given me a new lease on life. And I am a very private person. A lot of people don't even know that I have long COVID. And I'm just happy to share how much this has helped me. If I could help somebody else, I take away my privacy to give it to you because I really would love for other people to have this feeling. I personally don't know anyone else with long COVID, but I know there's lots of people out there that do have it. And my advice is just try this because it has helped me so much. And I am the type of person that goes into things thinking, I'll try it. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know, but I'll try. And I did try a lot of things that didn't help, but I don't, they could probably help others. I don't know. They just didn't help me.
Right.
This has helped me so much. And I thank you for it.
Oh, well, I appreciate you sharing this because your story is an amazing story. You went through so much for so long. And like you said, you know, it's some things have decreased, some things have pretty much gone away, other things are still there. But you're improving and you're able to do things and get your life back. And, you
Yes.
know, the longer that you've been wearing these patches, the more you've been able to do. And the fatigue is huge in bringing
Huge.
back your life and everything that you're, you know, able to do. And I love the fact that you've got the
Mhm.
two grandbabies that you're able to do things
Yes.
with, because that's what life is about, you know? And
Yes.
so I really appreciate your sharing so that other people can understand that this is a tool that maybe they could use in their toolbox. If they've tried all these other things like you have that haven't helped, this is something that might be able to help them. And I appreciate that.
Yes.
So if anybody, like I said, if you'd like more information about the patches, the one that she was mentioning is called the X39. That's the foundation patch, but there are other patches that the LifeWave company has developed. And you can learn more at Healthy Kristen, healthy, KRISTEN.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.